Show me something.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Show Me Something podcast. This is Kirk.
I'm Trevor.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Will.
Today I brought in, this is obviously the first episode of Show Me Something podcast that I'm on, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Today, we're going to be talking about the 1981 Brian De Palma film written and directed by Brian De Palma, the movie Blowout. This is a movie that I don't remember when I first watched it. I watched it years ago. I think it holds up very well to repeat viewings. I watched it last night. I really enjoyed it. I watched also an interview with Brian De Palma before I watched that, and it's an hour-long interview at length where he's talking only about this movie. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah, a lot of insight on different parts of it that we can get into. But
Crazy.
yeah.
All right.
How'd you guys like it?
This was an unexpected, I had never heard of this movie, not even once. This was out of nowhere. John Travolta, oh God, what's his name?
John Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow. I was so surprised to see John Lithgow. I was like, what?
I was surprised too. I didn't notice him in the credits, and Abby was like, "Oh yeah, I saw his name." I was like, "I'm fucking shocked that Lithgow was in it." I didn't expect it.
No, he's he's very intimidating in it.
He
is.
He does a really good job in it, to be fair. But it's
fuck.
like this movie was a trip and a half. Honestly, the whole thing was just wild. I kind of liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it takes some interesting choices that I would not have expected for the time period.
Oh yeah, like what?
When did this come out?
1981.
Yeah, and so early 80s. I mean, some of that I don't want to talk about because of spoilers, but
Yeah.
Okay,
just
we can get into that later then.
yeah, it was cool. Surprised me, and it kind of has some of that early 80s vibe with some of the dialogue, I feel like, at times. But yeah, I liked it.
The whole aesthetic is very...
Mm-hmm.
All right, how about you, Will?
I dug it. I was just looking through Brian De Palma's IMDb because obviously he's a very well-known director, but I don't think I've seen a ton of his stuff, and that's true. I've only seen The Untouchables and Mission Impossible. Haven't seen Scarface. Haven't seen Carlito's Way.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Scarface yet either.
Haven't seen Carrie. So I
gotta show you guys Scarface then on one of these episodes.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I would dig
That would
that.
be a good one.
That's crazy.
I've always meant to watch it, and I
on
just
that.
never
I wanna
have.
be on that.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, I know that he's a pretty well-regarded director and has made some pretty cool movies. Definitely, like Trevor, have never heard of his film before, which is pretty surprising given the De Palma Travolta combo here. I think that's pretty legit star power, and I'm surprised I've never heard of it. I really dug it. I liked it. I liked it a lot at the beginning. It kind of dipped a little bit for me in the middle, and then by the end, I was right back to where I was in the beginning. Love the ending. Trevor didn't give it a score, but I'm going to give it a score.
I couldn't remember where we give a score. It's been a minute since
we do it. We do it up top, Trevor. This is the same thing that happened last week.
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't give it a score either.
That's okay, but you haven't reviewed.
You'll give it after.
You're last, Kirk. All right, Trev, real quick, just cut me off and give it a score.
80.
Huh?
8 out of 10. Okay.
We can
8
round
out of
that
10.
round that down to 8 out of 10.
What is happening? Trevor's
You
Trevor's
guys-
very tired.
Trevor's hungover and tired right now.
I'm not so tired
God.
anymore. I am still a little hungover, but
No, I
80 out of 10. All right, cool.
8 out of 10. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh,
It was
8.5. All right, cool. Yeah, so
I will say, I don't mean to cut you off, but the way I found out about this movie, because apparently none of you guys have heard about this movie.
No, never.
I've heard Quentin Tarantino has in multiple interviews praised this movie. He took a lot of inspiration from this movie, including just the casting of Travolta.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay.
This and Saturday Night Fever are his favorite, Travolta performances, and Brian De Palma's direction in this movie he took a lot from, including the split screen stuff.
Yeah.
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 That we
That
can
was
get
sick.
into later. But
Yeah.
go on, Will, with your rating.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I dug it a lot. I was sitting around like a 7 and 7.5 throughout, and then by the end I was up to about an 8. Travolta is fantastic. I think the direction is also very cool. There's some pretty cool techniques used throughout. Really significant use of zoom, which isn't always seen a ton nowadays, especially like a rack, like a rack zoom. Yeah, so 8 out of 10. I definitely dug it. Nice find. Don't think I ever probably would have heard of it otherwise. Glad to have seen it. Cobb, what'd you think?
Sweet, yeah. I hadn't heard of it, which I'm very surprised of because all me and Kirk used to do in high school with Ked was talk about movies. So I don't know how I hadn't or how we hadn't really talked about it much, at least not that I remember. But,
over the years, I've told you to watch it, I believe.
It must have just gone over the radar then. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't remember it. But I'm glad that you had us watch it now on the pod because I loved it. I thought it was great. I loved the main character. I thought the setting was dope. Everything, the antagonist was great. The mystery was fantastic, and like trying to figure out what is all going on and everything. I loved that he was like a sound guy on B movies. I thought that was fucking great. The opening just being like the actual B movie, like a really shitty like slasher with like a bunch of just tits everywhere.
Yeah, it was fun. Him talking about that, shooting that scene. If I can talk about it now, I guess. But
yeah, go for it. Yeah,
he was like saying he's like his whole idea was, he talks about a lot his philosophy on movie making in this interview. And one of the things is that he's like, I don't want just like a car driving up for the opening of the movie or like geography shots. Like that shit's boring. Doesn't tell you anything. He's like, show me something fucking crazy, you know? And so he's like, all right, we're going to start this movie with this. It's a fake. It's a movie within a movie.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
That's so
and
cool.
it was one long shot too.
It was one long shot. And he said every time they did it, they added like another element to it, like another like the woman masturbating in the other room, and
just
every time they
random,
did it, they added another crazy thing.
It's such like a thing you would see in a really shitty, trashy B movie slasher. Like,
you
would
according
just
to Brian
see all
De Palma,
the
they
sex
had a lot
stuff.
of fun filming that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, I thought it was great. I'd probably, I'm between like an 8.5 and a 9. I'd probably give it a 9 just because I feel like I would definitely rewatch this movie, and like enjoy it just as much. And it for me, it feels like one that I would throw into a rotation of just like a fun movie to have on. I really enjoyed it. But also, before I throw it back to you, Kirk, for your score and everything, I do have a little bit of housekeeping from the last episode where we did Milo. I have continued to listen. I repeatedly listened to Who Told You to Think over and over and over again. I've also listened to a couple of the other albums that he's put out. I listened to Nostrum Grocers. I listened to Budding Ornithologist or Weary of Tired Analogies.
Fuck yeah.
I listened to So the Flies Don't Come.
Fuck yeah.
And then I also listened to the one that he put out under the new name. What is it?
Purple Moonlight Pages.
Yeah, that one, which I didn't like as much. It was kind of strange. And I found it to be a little bit like intense.
Yeah.
But
and you did Sovereign Nose of Your Arrogant Face too, didn't you?
Yes, I did also, yeah. But yeah, I wanted to bump my rating up to from an 8 to a 9, just because of how much I enjoyed the artist, and how like much how re-listenable the album is for me.
Is this the first revision rating that has happened on the show?
I think
no. We've done it less formal with Dave.
Yeah.
When we've when every time basically Trev brings on another shitty comedy, I'm like, Dave's the best one, and I have to bump it up again.
Every time it gets one better rating.
Every time he brings on another comedy, I find to be trash.
You're like, I give this a 4, and also I'm gonna revise Dave. I'm gonna give Dave a 9.
9 out of 10, perfect.
It keeps going up though, and eventually it ends up like 1,002.
Yeah.
Dave was really good.
You guys didn't appreciate it at the time.
My other bit of housekeeping is that we recently had to bring Pip to the vet for his like one year checkup thing to get shots and everything, and they told us that our son is 3 pounds overweight.
Oh, they always tell you your cat's
No
overweight,
way,
man. They tell us
trash.
Annie's overweight. She's fucking tiny. She's
And
tiny.
they also said that he has gingivitis.
Oh no.
So
You know
so
what,
we,
dude? They
we
said
got
that
him,
about
we got
our
him
other
dental
cat.
treats.
Those
oh,
are the
really?
two things that always happen. Yeah. They're
Okay,
common.
so it's common.
You just
Oh,
brush.
we
You're
got-
supposed to
we
brush
got
their teeth
dental
or like
treats.
wash them with like special wipes that they give you sometimes.
They told us we could just give him dental treats.
Okay.
There you go.
I guess
It
it's
depends
like
how
good for his
severe it
gums
is.
or whatever. I think he's fine. He's sleeping behind me right now like nothing's going on. Yeah, so there might be an audio break, guys. There was a little bit of a technical difficulty on Will's end. His hard drive filled up, but I think that I was at the end of
7-year-old
my house.
MacBook.
Yeah, I think I was at the end of the housekeeping though. So what are you rating the film, Kirk?
I'm where you are. I think I'm about. I think that technically, probably it's an 8.5. But me personally, I think it like I would give it a 9 out of 10 because like you, I think the subject matter, I think is interesting. Like the fact all the tape, all the analog
Yeah.
stuff that you see. It's just very cool and interesting to look at. So yeah, it's a very good movie, and there's a lot of visual information, so it stands up to repeat viewings because. A lot of the split screen stuff, I guess now we just get into spoiler zone and everything, talking in depth about it.
Well, we'll talk in depth after you give your score, and then we'll jump into.
Oh, I give it a 9.
The spoil. Oh, okay.
9?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can jump
Alright.
into the spoiler zone. Then go ahead.
Spoilies.
No, yeah, just a lot of these shots. Everything is in focus, and that's they do a lot of the split. What is it? The split diopter shots, which is what
Mhm.
they because they don't have in Citizen Kane, like when they had like a big sound stage, you could have a big wide angle lens. Shit's huge. It's
Yeah.
like massive, and they don't have
Mm.
that when they're shooting this
Mm.
movie on the location in Philly, where this movie was all shot in Philly. So basically, what they did to achieve everything in focus, like a wide angle shot, like in Citizen Kane, where they got that, where everything's in focus. It's like a piece of glass that goes on the lens, and you can choose 2 focal planes. And so,
Oh.
like, you could have the owl in focus up next close to the camera, him in the background,
Yeah.
Mm.
or the
Okay.
television, and then all the stuff, all the edited shots, like the opening scene after the
Yeah.
credits.
Yeah. That was the first one I noticed.
Yeah, yeah.
The bridge scene was fucking so cool.
It was
That-
cool.
I loved it.
That was like
loved it.
some of the coolest shit.
What is that mic he's using though? Because that was ridiculous. Like
It
how
was like a really dope shotgun mic.
I guess, but like how just
Yeah.
zoomed in it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he was dialing
very
it up. You
directional.
saw him. Yeah.
very direct, like an extremely directional microphone that I don't think would be that directional.
What do you mean?
Wow.
No,
I
man,
don't
that's how
know.
those
So
are.
not only is Trevor I am FDB, but Trevor is also I am
MDB.
MDB.
Why are we-
The
Internet
Internet
Movie
Microphone
Microphone
Database.
Database?
Like he's trying to capture
Damn.
wind sounds, which would be kind
Trevor,
of
I
all
don't remember
around
you ever recording sound in college.
He's capturing wind sounds, but also just
w-
the sounds of
I-
ambiance
Camera boy.
outside.
I did. We did sound stuff. Remember, we had to go and record sound for stuff a couple of times.
But
Did you ever
anyway.
record? Did you ever record natural sound just outside though? Like he
Yeah.
picks up the owl.
I
he
literally-
picks up the frog.
I dangled a friggin' boom mic off of a bridge trying to get water flowing noises.
And it didn't work for you.
It didn't really work out that well. No,
You got to get a better mic.
Didn't have the same
You
mic.
got to get a better mic.
Yeah.
got to get a better school mic. You know.
Yeah, well, I echo that sentiment. That scene was fucking great. I loved how he was just like okay with being the creepy guy on the bridge with that couple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you thought it was
I
hilarious.
loved like
They didn't. Know.
I loved how it would cut as a sound played like in and out, like it would zoom towards the frog or like zoom towards the owl. I also loved how when the car crashes, he's like Jesus Christ, and then the music like stings. That was great.
And one thing about that scene is when it's you said it pans out, so it's a close up of the mic, then it shoots out when a sound happens, and it shoots out again. But you never actually see what he's seeing. You only see him. You only ever see his
Yeah.
perspective after the event has occurred when he's recalling it. And
Yeah.
apparently that was intentional because Brian De Palma again brought that up in that interview. So that's an interesting.
That's really cool.
I'm surprised
visual.
they didn't like actually bring up So he totally hears John Lithgow's wristwatch, right?
Yeah, but doesn't know what it
He
is.
He doesn't, but
Yeah,
like
he
they
doesn't
never
hear it
bring
at first.
up later. It feels like
He doesn't notice it. At
It's
first.
just for us, it
I
seems
guess
like.
it is just for us, but I feel like that would have been something he could have like. I thought he was gonna come up like whenever I jumping really far ahead. He's got the girl. What's her name? I cannot.
Sally.
Sally.
Yes,
All
Sally.
like wired up.
By the way, I don't mean to cut you
Here-
off. Sally, the actress that plays Sally, was Brian De Palma's wife at the time.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
They were
Nancy
only they were
Allen?
only married
Didn't
for
know
5
that.
years, but they were
Yeah,
married.
when I was
Yeah. She was in a few of his movies, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I was just about to say when I was looking up Brian De Palma's like filmography this morning, like he recasts like some of the same people like over and over again in all these movies. It's like John Travolta is like in a bunch of them in the early ones, and same with her. What's her name? Nancy.
The guy that did the score,
Nancy Allen.
the guy that did the score, Pino Donaggio.
Pino
Yeah,
Donaggio.
he did a lot of music for him throughout the years.
I meant to look him up
The
because
last,
I like the
including
score a
up
lot.
into 2019, was the most recent collaboration between the two of them.
For Domino, which I've never fucking
Never
heard
heard,
of.
never seen. No, but they did work
Dude,
together on it. Yep. I
It
saw
seems
that.
like when I was looking through his
he really
filmography-
falls off. Yeah, his
Yeah,
career-
he's got so many just like complete stinkers apparently. Like
Yeah,
he has
yeah,
a bunch of movies that are rated like 4 out of 10 and stuff.
Gosh.
Can we just look at Pino Donaggio though?
Wow,
my
what a,
God.
Oh,
what
his
a, what a
his
goat.
shit.
He
so
looks
many,
like
so
Pino
many, so many.
Donaggio. He looks like his name.
The amount of movies that he has made music for is fucking crazy.
So he did Carrie, Dress to Kill, Body Double, Blowout.
A lot of Italian
Those are all
movies
De Palma
in the
films.
80s.
Still haven't seen Carrie.
Yeah. Me either.
Me either.
Too
it's great.
spooky.
What was I talking about though? Yeah, they never brought back the sound.
The bezel
though.
sound, yeah.
Like I was really
But I
expecting
think
him to
he
hear
hears-
it and then go, and then like have like
He-
a quick
he-
flashback. Or
No, I think
something
when he's
to-
listening, when he's re-listening to the recording, he goes frog, couple talking, owl. Then he goes bezel noise. I didn't hear that before. What is that? He notices it, but he doesn't know what
he
it
notices
is.
it, but he like it never actually gets recognized.
It's for the audience,
Like,
I think.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because like it's finally paid off at the end when they're in the train station
Yeah.
and he's like pulling on his watch. And I mean, obviously
He
at that
pulls on
point
the
you
watch
fucking
throughout
know
the
it's
whole
him.
movie.
hmm
It's his
Yeah.
take. Yeah.
He's
Um,
playing with it all the time.
Which also callback. That's a throwback to From Russia with Love.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah, Red Grant has a watch with a bezel with like piano wire, same sort of thing.
Oh, I don't
That's
remember
fucking
that at all.
awesome. I need to see that movie again.
That's a
Same.
good one.
Also, I
That's a
can't
very
see
good
it
one.
for-
Like I haven't seen it in like 10
Yeah.
years.
That's one of the better ones.
I
think.
fucking love Bond.
Yeah.
I love Bond,
Bond
so
movies
much.
are great. I need to rewatch a bunch of them.
Problematic as it is in 2020 or whatever the fuck, but still the best.
Yeah.
No Time to Die. I can't wait for.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, super psyched.
So much.
Anyway,
so much pushing away, pushback.
I know. Can we jump to the end real quick?
Yeah.
Just because fuck it, right? Fucking amazing ending. I'm such a sucker for main character dying. A, B, not main character, but like
Love interest.
B character, I guess. Yeah, love interest or like anyone who is like a central figure in the film dying at the end of the movie. I like it automatically gives me bonus points because I think it's not used enough, and I think a lot of times it's hinted at, and then they chicken out, and then it like turns out somehow the
So-
character's still alive.
Exactly.
Um,
I think that's a lot.
So-
a lot of the reason why she's. I think it's because Brian De Palma wrote the movie, and Brian De Palma, he's very much like he's very much like a Hitchcock, sort of a Hitchcockian sort of a school of thought director. You know, the whole point of view. He uses a lot of point of view shots.
hmm
yeah,
A lot of the girl is a seductive thing, and we're watching her and seeing what she's doing, and then maybe, you know, you fall in love with her, but then she's destroyed, and that's what he said.
Mhm.
He's like, that's movies. You know, that's his whole thing.
yeah,
And this is very much.
yeah.
this
I dug
movie
that a lot, and
emblematic
then
of it.
also, not only the fact that she died, but the fact that he uses her fucking scream for the movie.
Dude,
It's
that
just
was
like-
so
that-
fucked.
That's like
That was
the
so
weirdest and
weird.
creepiest fucking thing. And to end the movie on him like plugging his ears as she screams, it's just so weird. And I
But it's
love
a great
it. I love
scream.
it. Honestly,
It was a
8.5.
genuine.
I said
scream.
8. I said 8. I'm back to 8.5 because I think the ending is so fantastic. Like, it's such a risky ending, and I'm sure so many people hated it.
Yeah,
It's
Abby
almost
was
like
pissed at the
because
end.
there's
But
like there's two big scenes for the ending. It's like that scene and obviously and then all the fireworks stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Dude,
the
the fireworks is
finale.
amazing too. Yeah.
So
Dude,
I
the whole last
Go ahead,
chase
Trev.
was crazy.
yeah, the whole last scene was like
the
insane.
parade.
I kind of dug it. I did not like the fact that he used her scream. That was annoying.
Come
to
on.
me.
It was more the other guys.
It's
It was
amazing.
more the other guys heard the scream and I think kind of made the decision for him.
Yeah.
But like, how did they hear it? Like he
I don't know.
brought it
Yeah,
to
I don't
them.
know.
He
must
cut
have-
it
he must have
and
brought
brought
it
it to them.
I feel like it's also because his entire
guess, I
audio
don't-
library was erased.
I don't have an answer.
Also, he also like he
And
never.
those other
I guess
people they
ends
brought
up.
in were trash.
He also never ended
That
up
was
turning
hilarious.
over.
Terrible.
He had the
That was
backup
great comic
audio
relief.
file. He had the backup audio footage, and
Of
he
what?
also.
You mean of the crime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had like all this.
It doesn't matter.
He had all this stuff, and
Yeah, but
he had
come-
all the evidence, and he just never brought it to light.
He
What's
tried.
your point,
He
Trevor?
was too distraught. He was
He
distraught.
tried.
Dude.
He tried again and again.
She
and, the-
died
and the
literally
thing,
for nothing. She died for nothing then.
Well, you could say all the people that
Unfortunately.
died in the movie died for nothing. Like, I mean, what about
Yeah,
the
but, like-
government?
Well, yeah.
She didn't have to. Like, yeah,
She was
there's
supposed to
times
be-
where it's
she was
like people
supposed to
die and they
die-
die for nothing.
She was supposed to have died in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was according to plan.
It's like Final Destination style. You know, you're eventually
Yeah.
gonna die.
But
Oh, I thought you meant like,
like,
just in a
it's
car
up to
underwater
him
filling
as to
with
whether
water.
or not her death meant anything, and he chose to just let it mean nothing.
Yeah, but I think that makes it even doper.
No,
Like,
that
I love
annoys
shit.
me. I
love it.
appreciate the fact
Nah,
that
it's
she
fantastic.
died. I appreciate they didn't like do the
It's a
whole
downer
That was
ending.
cool.
happy thing. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
It's
I love a downer ending.
that next step into him just giving up on the whole thing. And it's like, what?
He's been
That just
through a
didn't
lot
make
he
sense.
fell in
already.
love with the
He's already
girl and
been
she
through so
died,
much.
bro. He's not giving up.
didn't make
Yeah,
any
what's he
sense
supposed
to
to
me.
do?
He's just a guy.
Nobody tried to actually help him.
Yeah.
The reporter guy did.
Yeah, but then the phone was busted, so he's like, "Guess that's done." And he hung up.
And also, it
Can't
was
get another phone.
also it wasn't even the reporter. He would know that. Like she was supposed to meet the reporter supposedly, and then it wasn't him. It was John Lithgow.
Yeah, because
He
John
met
Lithgow
this
called.
reporter in person. He knows what the reporter looks like.
But all he can hear is his voice until he sees her.
Yeah.
Until he sees the reporter killing him.
I know. And then at that point, it's like, well, this was obviously a setup by somebody else. Let me still turn over the backup footage I have, because he made a copy
it's
of the
too late,
audio.
dude.
That's
You're
too late.
crazy, Trevor.
that's
You're
what
crazy,
annoyed me
dude.
more than anything else.
You're crazy.
You want him to just be like
Can
fucking
we-
Why you
Rambo,
guys
just
always
keep
gotta
going. You want him to be
sandbag
like
me?
the Terminator. He just never stops. He wants to get back to goddamn
He's like the
living his
Punisher.
fucking life, making
No,
shitty
he's
movies.
fine. But like, all he had to
Making
do was
sick
go,
movies.
"Here's the audio. I'm done," and just give it to the guy. At least do something with
Give
it
it to who?
instead of just
The
reporter.
reporter?
Yeah.
The original reporter, the real reporter.
He,
Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
I like. I
Love the
see what
same
you're
I
guy.
saying.
think-
I like
Yeah,
that the
I did
movie just
too,
ended.
but
I
I
didn't want to
disagree.
see anymore.
No,
I
it's
liked
the end
that
of the
the
movie.
Me either.
It's great. It's an
Yeah.
hour and 47 minutes.
perfect.
It's fucking the perfect length.
That is the perfect length, honestly.
We didn't
Yeah.
need to see him give
Absolutely.
it over to him. We could have just had the
It's
same
just
thing
like
that they did with the newscast going, new evidence was turned over in the case, blah, blah, blah. And then that would have been it. That's enough. He turned over the evidence.
I think it just
No,
kind of
De Palma's
adds
a
to,
nihilist, dude.
Yeah, it adds to just how fucked it is. You know, it's like it is what it is.
That
The
was
shit's
one step
over,
too
alright?
far, in my opinion.
Well,
So, pivoting slightly, can we talk about how amazing 1981 John Travolta looks running in slow-mo against a fireworks backdrop? Him running up to where she's getting murdered. What a stud.
Yeah, he looks
Dude, he
amazing
looks
in general.
amazing.
I mean, he's got
And I-
what his chin
yeah.
is bizarre though. He's just got a fucking just
no, it's
fucking
great. He's got the
little
hole
right
in it.
there.
Yeah,
Dude, yeah, classic
What?
dimple
That's a
chin.
dimple
He,
chin.
I mean,
Okay.
Travolta is the fucking man. I don't
Oh,
know.
well, I wanted to say something about the movie. I mean, I love early '80s, late '70s, that era, just that stylistically aesthetic, especially the
Yeah.
just the way people dress, the jackets, especially the jackets,
Yeah.
corduroy, denim, leather, canvas, all kind of nice.
Fantastic.
Nice look. Nice
jackets,
aesthetic.
cars. His sweet
Have
Jeep
you-
Wrangler.
wait.
Jeep
His
Renegade.
Jeep was cool.
Or the
Great,
Jeep
great
Renegade.
Jeep.
The
He
Jeep
was
was
sending
sick.
that fucking Jeep, dude. So many air shots of
He
that
hopped
Jeep. I
the
loved
curb.
it.
He hits the curb.
A
yeah,
quick,
yeah.
a quick aside. Kirk, have you seen 3 Days of the Condor?
I think I have. I've watched a bunch of those.
The
like,
Robert Redford.
I watched a couple of those thriller movies, like The Parallax View, and sometimes some of them blur together. You know.
Okay, cool.
Because I've only
Yeah,
watched a
3
bunch
Days
of
of the
them. I've only
Condor-
watched them once. I think I've seen.
Yeah,
it,
3 Days of the Condor, highly recommend. It's a Sidney Lumet, I think, movie from
Okay.
the 70s. Robert Redford is the star.
Maybe I haven't seen that.
Fantastic. Very similar vibes to this one.
Also,
Political
similar vibes.
intrigue and
Have
whatever.
you seen The Conversation?
No, with Gene Hackman, but it's on my list.
That's
on
also
Criterion.
similar vibes to this because it's like wiretapping and tapes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love a good like 70s political thriller. They were so fucking good back then.
Oh, yeah. All the
I miss
President's
shit
Men.
like that. Like, right. Also, like, shout out to Enemy of the State. Don't know why it popped into my head, I guess, besides Gene Hackman. But Gene Hackman, Will Smith, Enemy of the State, banger of a movie. Anyway,
Shout out to the blowjob that the sailor gets in the phone booth.
10 seconds.
Mhm.
Guys?
10 minutes?
10 seconds.
It's
10
like,
seconds.
It's so quick. It's instant.
Yeah,
You
'cause
hear him
he was
just
like,
say,
I've
"Slow
been on a
down."
boat.
You just hear
On
him
a
say slow
boat.
down.
Well, he
and
goes,
then-
yeah,
and
slow
then she's
down.
like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh my
He's
god.
an
I've been on a
asshole.
boat.
He's an
Yeah,
asshole.
so let's talk about creepy Lithgow then, because I think that plays
Yeah.
into that. Because like right
He's
after
like-
that, you hear tapping on the glass,
Yeah.
and it pans, and he's like holding some money up for her. He's so fucking creepy in this movie, dude.
He's
He does
such a
great
fucking
job
loose
at being
cannon,
a creeper.
dude.
So
Yeah.
what's crazy about him in this movie is he's not only... So he's not a serial killer. He's a serial killer for hire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then
But
he,
for
like,
hire, but he's not doing what they asked him to do.
Yeah,
He's
that's
so
what I
crazy
love.
that-
Is when that
he's
got
so crazy
revealed.
that he's pretending to be a serial killer and actually like being a serial killer.
Yeah,
To make
it
he's
seem
like,
like
to
a cover
stage
up.
him as a bunch of sex killings, and with the guy's like, what?
Yeah. That wasn't what I wanted you to do.
It's like,
This
it's
reminds
me.
me-
I'm the sex killer.
This
You
reminds
didn't
me
want-
of
yeah.
our movie that we made, Burned, where
Yeah, shout out Burns.
the way that plot works.
You guys
which
had
is a
sex
nonsensical-
killers.
we didn't
No.
have sex killers, no.
No, but at first the guys go and do something they're not supposed to do, and then they go back and like do some crazy, even something crazier.
Yeah.
It's
Makes
very
sense.
much an aside, but
But
he's
yeah,
a
that
great-
was crazy because he's talking to the people that hired him, and they're like, "We didn't want him dead," and he's like,
Yeah.
"I had to take the shot." It's like you didn't have to take the shot. What are you talking
well,
about?
let's talk about the
He's
whole
like,
controversy.
you wanted him out of the race.
The whole crux of the movie is: was this car going off the bridge? Was it a tire blowout, or was someone shot the tire out?
hmm
And
It's pretty quickly revealed that it was shot out, though,
well, John Travolta's trying to prove that it was a shot
Yeah.
out tire throughout the movie.
which is cool. I do appreciate that.
yeah.
And
I mean,
his-
I thought it was like someone had shot it out even before the reveal, but for the wrong reasons. Because when you see the guy run away,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
just
yeah.
taking the
No,
pictures.
as
I
an
was
audience,
like, oh, someone
as an
must
audience
have-
participant, yes, you would think that.
Yeah, exactly. As
You're like, what's
just a
that
part
guy
of the
doing?
Audience. So I'm like, oh, it had.
I
to
was
have been,
confused
some
about
sort
who
of
that
foul
guy
play.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's good for repeat viewings. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely feel that. I think I'll for sure watch it again.
I
So-
thought that honestly they shot the guy, the
I
governor?
thought that too. Yeah, because it
Mayor?
looks like his head's blown off.
Yeah, it looks like he's bleeding profusely from like
You could
a
see like, his-
gunshot. So it's like
Yeah,
what?
I don't know. I
Shit,
don't know.
dude.
Maybe he's supposed to have hit his head on something. I don't know exactly what happened there.
I guess, but that's what
Because
my
only
first
one
thought
shot
was-
goes off, and it goes right through the tire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great shot. Excellent
Well, like
shot.
obviously,
Sniper.
like we said, you don't see that at first. It's like kind of obscured, and I was like, so they shot the guy, and
Yeah.
somehow are covering it up as a tire blowout. That's how is that supposed to work? It's in a river. They can recover that body really easily, and then I
Yeah.
guess
And they still bring the body to the hospital and try to revive him. Like,
guess.
what? Dude's been
They
Yeah,
got him
very
out
strange.
dead, I
45
guess,
minutes.
but like they could do that on the scene.
Very
Yes.
strange.
That part I found really weird.
Yeah.
I was
That
like,
was
what
weird,
the fuck is
yeah.
happening? And then all the cover-up stuff starts happening, where like they're just like immediately like you can't talk about this shit.
imagine what would have happened if
Not
he had
subtle. Yeah, they're
pulled-
not subtle about it at all.
the
They're
governor
like,
out.
they're
Yeah.
like, this is a cover up for sure.
Yeah.
I need you to forget this woman.
It's like what?
He's just like, what the fuck?
Otherwise, we're gonna fucking kill you. So we will.
To be fair, they're just trying to cover up the sex scandal, not
Yeah.
not the
I know.
murder.
Because it's the
Yeah.
actual governor's campaign people and
Also,
friends or whatever.
I didn't notice it was John Lithgow until like a good. I think the first time he's in the phone booth with the hard hat. because like all the other times he's like, they show him where he's like in that weird outfit or like changing the tire out and all that other stuff. I'm like, who's this guy? What's his deal? Like, who's this person? And then they finally showed his face, I guess, in the phone booth, and I'm like, oh shit, that's John Lithgow.
Yeah.
That's Third Rock from the Sun.
I do want to talk a little bit more too about in the beginning, which is another thing that you would notice on repeat viewings, or at least keep like your eyes peeled for, is that like we find out later in the film that Travolta used to work to like wiretap corrupted cops, and then like
that
right
was
in
crazy.
the beginning of the movie,
That was a cool backstory
he's
for
put in
him.
this situation where he is basically dealing with cops being paid off by politicians. It's like it's just really interesting to see like the parallel of like his past with what's happening currently to him. And then later on too, he talks to the cop who's just like, I fucking hate you because of what you put away all those good cops.
One thing that I thought was interesting
Classic.
in the flashback scene is like, okay, so this undercover guy, he's not a small guy. He looked like kind of a big guy. And this like 60-something-year-old Italian guy with thinning hair comes out.
Yeah.
And in 2 seconds he hangs him from the fucking rafters with piano wire. No fucking
Hangs
way
him
this guy's
dead.
strong enough.
He
No
hung it with
fucking way
friggin'
that guy's strong
like
enough
a
to do that.
microphone cable. I thought that was like the
Maybe that's
yeah, it was the
cable.
wire.
was it the
it was the
cable?
actual wire. Yeah.
Okay, that's
And
wire.
still, like, that's some strong wire and a
Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
dude to lift him up like that.
That might
Yeah.
Dude was
maybe
a
that guy's got
beast to do
Goomba
that.
strength. I don't know, but
I guess.
It was pretty crazy. A lot of people were strangled and hung in this. Huh?
Yeah, they were. To be fair.
Lots
a lot
of
of
garroting.
yeah, strangulation.
Also, what do you guys think about the like the ladies? Essentially, it was her pimp, the dude that was taking
The
the, pictures.
scumbag
and
guy,
that was,
yeah,
like,
Carp.
he like always had like that
Manny
little tiny
Carp.
little cigar in his mouth.
Yeah.
He's got a stained wife beater
or like a
on.
cigarillo. Or
The
whatever.
wife beater with a
yeah.
bunch of stains
That
on
wife
it.
beater looked disgusting.
It's a classic.
Ugh.
He's so classic. He's perfectly cast.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
perfectly cast. The guy was such a scumbag. It was crazy.
he-
Yeah,
die?
he fucking bummed me
I
out.
don't know if she's supposed to be dead when she hits him with the bottle. I don't know if he's dead or just
I
passed
thought she
out.
killed him, but then after the scene right after that,
Realistically,
she's like so
in real life,
cool
if
about
she-
it. She's like,
If she
she's
would
like,
have
whatever.
actually hit him and break a bottle over his head, he would probably be dead.
yeah,
He
But
wouldn't
there
be. He
wasn't,
would
like,
never
any
be the
blood.
same. He would never be the same.
There wasn't like any
At the
blood.
very least, she probably thinks that she knocked him unconscious.
Oh, he's
She
unconscious.
probably doesn't
Yeah.
think she. She probably
She
doesn't think
seems
she
too
killed him.
normal
Oh, okay.
afterwards to for me to think that she really thought she killed him.
Yeah.
She just doesn't give a
Agreed.
fuck. She's like, yeah, I fucking killed
She
him.
might not. She's like, we're going to New York. I don't give a fuck. We're gonna go see some shows.
Oh, that was sad though. But that girl, she like throughout the whole movie, she seems to flip flop her personality so quickly.
Yeah, she's weird.
sometimes.
Well, clearly
Or
she's not a
she's just-
stable person. I mean, she's in the industry that she's in. I mean, her circumstances in
guess.
life
Yeah.
have not been good. It's a tragic
she's
story.
like so pissed off and angry or whatever. Right, like even towards the end before she goes to meet with who supposedly would be the reporter when she's wired up. She's
Yeah.
getting out of the Jeep and she's like, like angry at him, and then he's just like, "Hey," and then kisses her, and she's like, "Okay, this is fine,"
You
or
sure?
whatever.
She
And it's
changes her moods a lot.
like, what?
But
Hey, listen,
she
she's
isn't-
a floozy. What are you gonna do? That's
It
the
is a
character.
weird profession that she's in, though. She basically is she like
pretend
flirts
hooker.
with guys enough to bring them back to like a hotel or something, and then the guy jumps in and takes pictures of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to blackmail.
Very
them.
strange.
They run this weird little blackmail ring
yeah.
for like divorces. I
Yeah.
think they said to like get money
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
to
for the
get
elite.
extra money in the
They
courts.
blackmail elite.
It's such a strange
the racket.
profession that they
They either
have.
I'm pretty sure they're either getting paid for the blackmail or for
Yeah, absolutely.
like the
I think just the
wives
blackmail.
to get like stuff to help with the divorce. To
Well,
where
yeah, I
it's
think
like,
that's all
look,
in
he
one.
was
I think it's
cheating
more,
on me.
I think it's
get
about
all
getting
the money.
blackmail on your political opponent. I think that's more what it's about.
Well, they did mention divorces
Oh,
though.
okay.
Kurt.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's
evidence,
both for
like,
sure.
to
Yeah.
collect evidence. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you
Like,
get more
look,
money.
he's cheating on me. It's like
With
he might not have been, but I guess he.
Yeah, but boom,
did.
and
He
it's
is
the guy,
now.
He's like,
You real life
"Oh!"
catfished him.
They just keep going back to the same judge, and the judge is like, "Man, this lady really gets around. She's with all these fucking dudes. It's the same
Well,
person over." And
Also,
over again.
apparently in Philly, a lot of chicks look like her.
yeah, apparently,
Yeah,
He
for real.
The,
Oh,
yeah, 'cause
yeah.
the guy accidentally kills that lady.
No, not accidentally. He's going
Yeah.
to make. He's killing all these women to make it look like a serial
thought
killer.
he-
He's killing women of a type.
I thought he was
Oh,
trying to get
see,
her at first, and
That's what
fucked
I
up.
thought.
No,
I
it's
thought
not-
he was trying to get her the first one.
I think that maybe.
Because they were right next to
The
each other.
first
They were in
one?
the same area.
Yeah, and like
Maybe.
he
Yeah, the
pauses
first
for a
one. That
while
might be the
before he
case.
like
In, like,
stabs
the mall?
pattern.
And then he course corrects. He's like, okay, whoops. Now I have to kill
Yeah,
a bunch of
'cause-
other girls that look like her too, and then I actually have to
Yeah.
kill her.
Exactly, because that's where you see him, like, before he starts stabbing her, he, like, looks around and he's like, fuck, when he notices it wasn't her.
Oh, my-
and then he starts
okay.
stabbing her, and then you get the phone booth
That's
scene
right.
next,
He's
where
like-
he's like, I'm going to stage it as a bunch of serial killings.
That's
And he
when
looks at like the
Yeah.
Liberty
a
Bell
light bulb
thing.
goes off in his head, and then
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
That's how I took it.
That's how I picked it up.
So
too.
creepy.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah.
So creepy. What
Man's a creep.
just socio. Oh my god.
John
one really,
fucking Lithgow,
no one
who
really
knew?
has a Philly accent in this
Yeah.
movie, though.
No.
Definitely
No,
not.
They have
really.
more Jersey accents. Like she has a Jersey accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seemed kind of generic because I thought it might have been in New Jersey or New York at first because
Right,
he
sure.
talks about New Jersey. But then they start showing the Liberty Bell stuff, and I'm like, okay, so it's in Philly.
Yeah.
Um,
And
'cause
apparently,
he met-
De Palma, he grew up in Philly, so he walked like where like the what is the place called? It's like
What, the bridge?
Wissahickon. Yeah, that whole thing. A lot of the sets, a lot of the locations in this movie are like places that he walked extensively, like through a high school and stuff.
So did
he's-
they
he's
shoot
also-
the car crash on location, or did they do it on a soundstage?
I think that was all shot in Philly. The only
Damn, that's
I know
crazy.
that
They just
That's
the
pretty
car,
dope.
into a
the car
pond.
underwater was a soundstage. That was in a tank, obviously.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
But it was actually Nancy Allen in the car.
Oh damn.
in the tank, or that drove into the pond.
In the tank.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
They put her in there with a stunt.
It was
double.
probably a stunt double
Like,
in the car, I'm
go.
sure. But she insisted on going in the tank because De Palma. It was it was his wife. She didn't want her to go in there.
Yeah.
But, according to him, she insisted. So that's his.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty.
She
that's pretty
insisted.
hardcore.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah. Did you hear about any other fun facts, Kirk, in the interview?
Well, he doesn't like two shots. He doesn't like over the shoulder shots. He's like, that's just lame. That's boring. I don't like coverage. Like, that's like what he was saying. So he's like,
That's an
not,
interesting take.
Yeah, he's like, that's not directing. Like, you gotta do something fucking different. You know, like that's his thing, which he does.
I get that.
Yeah,
He does.
I mean, the
did.
over the
I
shoulder
did
is
like
And
like
the
in this
direction.
movie, particularly, he does it well. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
So, I will say I thought when when John Travolta is in his Jeep chasing after them after they've gotten on the subway, and he crashes into that storefront, I thought
Yeah.
that was going to be the end of the movie. Like the way that they were like zooming in on him, I was like, "Is this the end
That'd
of the
be
movie?" Like
amazing.
he just dies right there.
Oh, you thought he just
And
died?
That was
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
incredibly absurd for him to get through all of that police barricading and the
And he didn't get arrested.
And the parade and didn't even hurt anyone. First of all, and
Yeah,
second
he runs
didn't get
through
arrested. Like
the parade directly through the middle of the parade.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
people
right
just
in the-
diving out
directly
of the
through the
way.
middle.
Everybody's diving out of the way like sardines.
It's
Philadelphia,
insane.
best reflexes in the country. That shit was insane.
And you're right. He never gets arrested. Yeah, like
That
No,
was
he
the
doesn't
only
get
part that
arrested.
I
That's
found
funny.
weird was that he doesn't get arrested. And they don't care that he jumps out of the ambulance and starts bolting.
That was the most reckless
Yeah,
thing that
he's
anybody's
gotta
ever
go.
done on the streets of Philly.
yeah.
yeah, that was insane.
For sure.
They just respect
sure.
it, so they let him go. They're like, "That's you know what?
You're like, hey,
It is
what are you
what it
gonna
is."
do?
You're
What are you gonna
you're
do?
a
Wild.
you're a bad dude.
That's what all the cops are saying as they like salute him as he runs
Badass
by.
dude.
Bad
Even though
dude.
they hate
Let's
him,
go to Wawa.
they hate him for putting all those good cops away.
Yeah, that cop
Hey.
really
That's
did.
right.
hate him.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
such
do
a
what you gotta
classic
do.
though trope though for
Yeah.
like cops to be mad at either the
Big city corruption.
internal the what are they called Interpol? No. Oh, what is it called? Internal affairs people, or anyone that like helps internal affairs people. It's like,
Yeah.
why did I don't? It's such a trope. I feel like, but it's also a true thing, I guess.
De Palma
whatever.
did. He mentioned. I'm sorry. Were you going to? Were you going?
No, I'm good.
No, go on.
Just my.
I
No,
wanna
I'm
know.
done. That was it. That was it. I
It
was
sounded
just
like
gonna
you were about to
keep
go on
rambling.
at the end.
I was gonna keep rambling, but I'm glad someone cut me off. So.
At a bunch. So apparently, some of the original negatives when they were mixing the movie were stolen, and so they had to
Oh,
reshoot
shit.
a bunch of stuff. And a lot of the stuff they had to reshoot was the parade stuff.
Oh.
And imagine that was
That
makes
shitty,
sense.
because that's such.
'Cause that's a
like the
lot of
most
extras.
That's the most intense like planned out stuff to film probably.
That sounds terrible.
Do you think an extra stole it so they could get more days of pay?
They don't know who stole it. They never found it.
Oh fuck.
That's
Yeah.
my
That's
Very
guess.
crazy.
sinister, Trevor. Very sinister.
And also back to the depth of field issue thing or conversation. He seems to not like shallow depth of field. He's like, who wants to look at a blur in the background? He's like, what's the value of that? I want to. That's what he said. And he, so he likes visual information to fill the frame.
Man, he's got a lot of hot takes.
He's got a lot of hot takes. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really
fascinating.
interesting. I want to watch that.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to like link the interview in the description of the video or something.
Yeah, sure.
I want to see it too.
I'll send it to you guys anyway.
Yeah, send it over to Abby.
But yeah, the scene.
So
yeah.
No, you go.
Just when
I
they
was
were
moving somewhere else.
in the tape scene, the tape room, when he's discovering that the tapes are all erased and the camera's swirling around.
I literally was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
That was what I was going for too. Yeah.
No one was on set except for Travolta. They were all like, De Palma and the cinematographer
cool.
were like above, looking down.
Huh.
Damn.
Apparently.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's really
That
cool,
shot
yeah.
was fucking beautiful. Like the above shot of him like leaving his office after he's realized that they've all been erased.
Yeah, he goes
It's
in and
just
out of the room a
top-down
couple
shot.
times.
But
I loved all the stuff that was inside the studio. Like all that shit was so cool.
It's great
like,
to look
whenever
at.
he was like just doing his thing with like all the analog audio, and then he was in the animation studio doing that stuff and like
That was
putting
cool.
together this like proof reel basically. Like this is what happened.
Well,
I have footage now.
He listens to the audio track that he has, and he finds where the splash is, and he gets it queued up, and he writes S there. Then he gets he gets the photographer, like we were saying, he has video of the whole car going into the water. So he makes like a flip book with the video pictures, the still pictures, strings them together and makes a film reel with it, and cues it up to when the car goes in the water with the splash sound. And you can see that there's a shot that goes off, a gunshot in the background.
It was cool.
His work, to be fair, definitely did deserve an arrest. You know, like his work did deserve someone to get like found out that it was a conspiracy, because he did put a lot of fucking legwork in, and then all that happens is his love interest gets murdered, and then he uses her scream for his shitty co-ed bloodbath, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Well, they're like, we made
five. It annoys me.
Yeah, him and the boss, his director, I guess that guy's the director or the producer.
He must be the director.
Yeah.
Or maybe the producer.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we did Blood Beach, we did Bordello of Blood. They're like, yeah, we made 5 movies in 2 years.
That's fucking crazy too. Which I'm sure, from hearing how fast they made those movies, I'm sure he was so fucking pissed about how many days it was taking Travolta to get back with just a scream.
Yeah.
Like
for
they
real.
were working on that screen the entire movie.
Jack, what
How
the
could they
fuck?
not find?
Every time he sees him, he's like, "Where the fuck's my audio?"
To the point where he's auditioning girls himself. He's in the booth.
yeah, he
with
is.
them.
Yeah.
He's like,
Who are these girls?
And they're all terrible.
Yeah, like what? It's just a scream.
That
Oh,
first
they
scream made me
couldn't
laugh
switch.
so
You
hard.
pull her,
Yeah,
pull
that
her hair
first
and
scream
you
was
scream
awful.
now.
Yeah.
their screams were so bad though. Even in the booth, they were horrible.
Ah.
Yeah, it's good.
like, how
That's
can you
like
not
there's
scream?
there's some comic moments in the movie. It's mostly from that shit though.
Yeah.
It's from his
agreed.
job.
For sure.
Yeah. Let me see if I had any lingering thoughts.
Sure.
I want to go back
Check
to
my
the
notes.
rotation shot. I liked the rotation shot up until, the second to last, because they spun around the room like multiple times.
It becomes hard to look at it a little bit.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't like
definitely
how
jarring.
many times they did it. I liked the idea of it, and then I feel like they went 1 or 2 rotations too many, and I was like, I don't like this anymore.
Maybe you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That could be the case.
Intentionally
but I just,
disorienting.
But yeah, that's valid, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just looking through the notes now.
Yeah, I'm glancing.
I
through
liked
mine.
the shot of him after Sally gets murdered, and he's like sitting. It looks like maybe a cemetery, but it's probably a park. Like just sitting on a bench in the snow, like listening
yeah.
to her die. so fucking
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah.
But great, and then like it cuts to him having her scream in the film.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, and the
it's
music in the
definitely-
movie I think is very fitting. There's parts where it's like that 80s kind of music, like especially in the middle part of the
Yeah.
movie. And then there's also parts
Yeah.
where it's more score, like orchestral score.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
Yeah,
both
the
of
score is
them.
dope.
Yeah.
The score is definitely dope. Some good piano in there. I think it's when they're in the hospital. Some nice like light piano. But
Yeah.
the sting, like right after the car crash, is my favorite part, at least of the score. I wrote that down. Yeah, it was dope. I'm surprised that this movie has just kind of been like lost to time. It is very strange because like you two, I watched tons of movies and wasn't enveloped in film like in high school and early college. I'm just surprised I never even heard of this. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's like classic Travolta's career though. People like watch the like couple of them that are like popular from his career, and then they're like, oh, the rest of them he was garbage because he's not that good. Like usually
Yeah, it
people
was
just
just
write
dog
off
shit.
Travolta.
To be fair, in Carrie,
Have you all
it is-
seen
in
Face
Carrie,
Off?
He's
Of course.
Yeah, Face
I
Off.
have
Face
not seen
Off's
Face
great.
Off yet. I've heard about Face Off so
Face
much,
Off
but I
is
have
excellent.
not seen it.
It's tremendous. It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah, Face Off is fantastic.
Nothing wrong.
I'll have to see it. I'll have to see it one day.
Yep.
That's the same thing with Cage.
John Woo directed that.
Cage has had
John
a
Woo
great
from
career.
Chow Yun
Hard Boiled
Fat, my
and
boy.
The Killer.
Yeah, John Woo's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
they're
the
both
only
very
two that
good.
I've seen that he's
Yeah,
directed,
yeah.
but still.
Yeah,
I think The Killer
so.
is on my list to show you guys because you've only seen Hard Boiled, right, Will?
Yeah, very down.
Yeah. I gotta bring The Killer sometime.
That'd be
The
fun.
Killer's a little bit more raw because I think he made
I'm
that
into it.
before, so the budget's a little lower, but it's still a good movie.
I mean, when I watched
Those
them, I liked
those
that
action
so
scenes
dope.
are so crazy.
Yeah, they're fucking insane.
I forget. Yeah.
But you got any more
As far as this movie,
fun
though-
facts or anything?
No, we talked about a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, the next movie he made
That's
after
wild.
this is Scarface, so that came next.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was kind
Yeah,
of a departure
I mean-
too, because it's like he had mostly made like a lot of either like horror or like sex
Mhm.
thriller type movies, like this and the movie before this, Dressed to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
But then Scarface is like a big gangster, epic, sort of a thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
One of the greatest movies of all time.
it just goes
I need
down.
to see it still.
This was the first movie where Brian De Palma used Steadicam, and apparently the guy
Ooh.
that like invented Steadicam shot that intro scene.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, the opening shot was
Oh,
great.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
How do the? My original notes were bashing actually that opening scene of like, how do these girls not see this dude? Like during that opening thing, it's like,
They're
and
wasted,
then
bro. They're dancing.
the couple that he like is watching for a little while having sex, and she sees him, but then somehow stops seeing
Yeah.
him without ever
Yeah,
actually
I said
looking
the same
away or
thing.
him moving. Really, it was like, is this guy invisible, or like
One
what's
thing,
going on?
One thing I did find lame about the that like fake B movie was that the killer is just some like dorky looking guy. He's like
Exactly.
he just looked like some fucking creep. I wanted him to
Yeah.
be like a Mike Myers type character.
No, it's weird.
to
He looks
let-
like a janitor, but like a fat,
Yeah.
weird old guy, like you said, with like thinning hair and shit and glasses.
He's had
Yeah,
enough. He's been
I
the
want- I
janitor, and
wanted
he's
it
had
to be
and
enough.
hunched,
cooler.
like
I
hunched
wanted it-
weird like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the mirror, yeah.
You see him for
I
like 2
wanted some-
seconds in the mirror.
The
I wanted
way
some
the way he was
Jason
breathing.
or some fucking Mike Myers.
No, yeah,
shit.
it's a letdown.
Well, I
It's a
mean,
real letdown.
You can't. That
He's
was-
creepy.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, he's creepy.
Nope.
Have you guys seen Friday the 13th? Any of them?
I've seen several of them.
I don't
Well,
watch horror
you have.
films, dude.
I know you have, Kirk. I mean them
Fuck.
for what I can show. Well, I'm definitely gonna bring those movies in. Those
Fuck.
are fucking great. I might go out of order. I might bring a random one because the
I don't
first
like
one,
this.
it's good.
Bring the third
But,
one.
you know.
Me either.
Third one's
don't-
classic.
I
Fuck.
don't like it.
It
You guys will
is.
be fine. Stop being babies. It's not scary.
Mm.
They're not scary. They're
You
just,
say that.
They're just ridiculous.
Yeah, it'll be all right. No, I think that's
Uh,
pretty much. I mean, I don't have much else to say. It's it's a great.
Yeah,
movie.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just hard recommend people watch this movie.
Yeah.
You can find it if you have Amazon Prime. You can
Oh,
find it.
oh,
on
by the
there.
way, it's
Yeah,
gonna be off
me
Amazon
too.
Prime September 30th. I saw that. I went on.
Yeah, I was
watching
about
today.
to say that.
Yeah,
watch it. Watch it now.
You
Damn.
got
great timing.
well from the time of release.
Oh yeah, this is coming
what?
out.
Probably
hopefully-
like 5 days left
Uh-huh.
after this gets released.
They
Well,
got
I
8
think this
days.
is gonna come out on Tuesday the 22nd.
Yeah,
so they'll have
fuck
a few
'em.
days.
At least we all got to watch
Okay.
it.
Fuck the audience.
You got 8 days.
Yeah, we got
Buy
to watch it. Lol, nerds.
Find it somewhere else if you can, because it is definitely worth.
Maybe
a watch.
maybe you can rent
I-
it
oh,
after
for
that.
sure.
I'm sure you'll be able to rent it after that on Amazon still.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon you'll always
Somewhere.
You can pretty much rent like
Yeah.
anything on Amazon. It might cost you a pretty penny, you know. But yeah, thank you, Kirk, for being on, and
Absolutely.
can't wait to
Thanks,
have
man.
you on again because your picks so far are
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I'm excited to do another one.
Yeah, maybe one of these times you'll be one of the only other people other than Will
Hell
to bring
yeah.
music too, since me and
Yeah.
Trevor have just not done that so far.
Yeah, I'll have to do it. 'cause
don't listen to that much
think
music,
I
you know?
I would probably do
Don't.
that maybe next time just to mix it up, I guess. Keep it interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
'Cause you're a music boy for our audience that's somehow
Yeah, what
hasn't
the
heard
fuck?
you on the Ned Pod or any of the
Show
other
me
or
something
Drake and
hardcore,
Josh.
people.
Yeah, show me something only people.
Like, I don't like that Nickelodeon shit.
Oh.
Only hardcore shit. Oh, there's Maestro.
We still got to
Wait,
get
wait,
Will on the
wait.
Ned Pod.
I
That
know.
is true. Will, you need to get on the Ned Pod.
I've
We
never
just had our
seen.
Quad Pod episode.
I've never seen Ned
Shout
before.
out Quad Pod.
Can't wait to be. I'll be a 2-time no Nickelodeon boy. I was on Drake and Josh.
There we
Never
go.
seen it.
I
Beyond
think
Ned.
you'll
Never
like
seen
it.
it. I'll think. I mean,
I
the
honestly think
episodes
you should
I've
do it
heard
after
from
this,
you guys
to be
have been
honest.
good. Right now,
I'd be down.
just keep it rolling. I don't have enough beer
just
for
keep
that.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and Kirk for joining us, and we'll catch you guys for the next episode.
It's my episode.
Yeah.
Ooh.
For Trev's mystery episode. Don't know what it is yet.
We do, but
Oh yeah, we do.
you guys don't.
I do, don't I? Haven't you told us?
Yeah, no, I'm talking the audience. The audience doesn't know. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah, those guys.
Classic.
Classic.
you guys
don't know
know.
either.
The audience doesn't know.
Well, peace
Well,
out,
yeah.
guys.
See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.